Sunday we began a journey. And it's a journey of looking at reasons why God made us. God has created each and every one of us, as I was trying to tell the children, with a variety of reasons for being here. And last Sunday, we talked about the very first reason why God created us. We were created, as I told the children, to please God. That's one of the reasons why we're made. We have a job to do, and one of our jobs is to please God. Now, last Sunday we talked about how we can do this. There are a lot of ways that we can please God, but last Sunday we talked about showing brotherly love as one way to please God. When we are showing brotherly love to other people, God is pleased with us. We also talked about embracing sacrifice. When we're willing to sacrifice on behalf of others, God is pleased with us. And then we talked about doing good works, doing good deeds. And when we do good deeds, again, God is pleased. So we were created to please God. That's where we were last Sunday. Today, we're beginning to sense in our scriptures that were read, both by you, by Patty and me, that another reason why God has created us was to give back to life. God did not make you just so that you could live and take from life. God didn't make you to be a taker. God made you to be a giver back to life. That's one of the reasons why you're here. You are to give back to life. Now, just as there are a lot of ways that we can please God, there are a lot of ways that we can give back to life. And today we're going to look at 3 simple ways that we can give back to life. And the first way that we can give back to life is when we work vocation. God has made every one of us to give back to life. And one of the ways that you and I can do this is through our work, is through our vocations. Now, there are a lot of vocations, tons and tons of vocational fields. I mean, some are farmers, some are preachers, some are salespersons, some are technicians, some are engineers, some work on assembly lines, some are draftsmen, some are nurses. These are all vocations. And as we are doing what we're doing, we're contributing. We're giving back to life. There is no honest, legal vocation that does not contribute in some way to life. Now, I recognize that a number of you are retired. And so you contributed to life when you were indeed working in whatever vocation you had before you retired. But God expects all of us to contribute. And that means work. It means finding a vocation to work out of. Now, I also believe that God has given each of us unique talents that are best suited for some vocations rather than other vocations. And some of us who are working have discovered our vocational niche, in other words. We've discovered where, a vocation that utilizes many of our innate skills and abilities. And those of you who are retired, probably you worked in a vocation that hopefully utilized most of your skills and abilities. But there are many people living today who are working in a vocation that they know really does not utilize their skills and abilities. And to me, that is a clear sign that they need to find a different vocation. Because you were given unique skills and abilities, and when you find a vocation that matches those abilities, it's a good sign that you have found your vocational niche. And so if you like going to work, if you feel that what you do makes you feel good, and you can see that what you do contributes to life, that's a good sign that you have found your vocational niche. You found a vocation that matches your unique skills and abilities. Another way to tell if you found your vocational niche is to listen to the affirmation of others. If others affirm what you are doing. If others might come up to you and say, you know, you are a natural salesperson. You are a born supervisor. You are a natural nurse. You're a born farmer. Well, others will see you working in that vocational niche. And when they see the skills that you're bringing to it, they'll give you that affirmation. And if you get that affirmation from time to time, that's a sign again that you're probably in the vocational niche where you need to be. And still another quick way to tell if you're doing what you should be doing vocationally is, are you learning and growing? Are you learning and growing? Are you blossoming? If you are, in whatever vocational niche that is, that's another sign you're probably right where you should be. So we were created to please God. We were created to give back to life, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to find our vocational niche and work in that niche. Now, another way to give back to life is when we use our spiritual gifts in the life of the church. And this is what Paul was kind of picking up on in the scripture that we read together as a congregation and pastor. Paul was trying to help the church in Corinth realize that each and every one of those members of that particular church can give back to life by empowering the local church. And they empower the local church by utilizing their spiritual gifts that God has given them. And Paul tries to use the human body to show that, you know, all the parts of the body are needed. They're all important. You can't exclude the head without the foot. I mean, the body needs all the parts working together. And Paul's trying to help the church and help us realize that all members of the church need to work together, utilizing their spiritual gifts, and if they do that, then they empower the church. And guess what? An empowered church then usually gives back to life. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're all here, to give back to life. And so when we empower the church utilizing our spiritual gifts, the church then turns around and is able to empower life, to give back to life. And Paul recognizes that we all have different spiritual gifts. Some have the gift of music. Those are the people who should be singing in choir, praising, doing special music for worship. Some have the gift of teaching. And those are the ones that should be in the Sunday school teaching. And some have the gift of hospitality. And those are the ones that should be the primary leaders of fundraising events like the salad luncheon, bringing people in, making them feel welcome. Some have the gift of administration. Those are the ones who maybe should be on the church board and the committees. We all have spiritual gifts. When we utilize them, we empower the church. As we empower the church in turn empowers the world, and that fulfills another reason why you and I were made. So we were made to give back to life. We do that by working vocationally. We do that by utilizing our spiritual gifts in the life of the church, and that's probably where many of you who are retired and no longer working in a vocation can give back to life. You're now using your spiritual gifts in the life of the church to give back to life. And still another way that we can give back to life is by embracing opportunities to volunteer and do good works. And that's what Paul picks up on the letter that he wrote the church at Ephesus, the passage that Patty read. Paul writes to the Ephesians. And he basically reminds them that they were called for good works, Paul says. They were called to give back to life through volunteering through good works. And again, there are all kinds of ways that we can volunteer and do good works. When you help with Meals on Wheels in the community, when you volunteer to make phone calls to elderly people who live alone, when you volunteer to go over to Phoenix Park and help disseminate food to hungry children who will be gathering there come tomorrow morning, you make a difference in life. You give back to life. When you volunteer to read to children at summer school, or to pack bags, that'll go into children's backpacks, food items, is what our church will be doing again come this fall. There are all kinds of opportunities to volunteer. And God expects us to embrace those opportunities. Not all of them, but some of them. Because when we volunteer to give back to life, we do make a difference and we live out one of the reasons why God created us. Maybe some of you caught the short little story recently about the elderly woman who was put off a Greyhound bus because she had a little puppy in her coat pocket. She was at her birthday party, and unbeknownst to her, one of the gifts that she got that day was a brand new little puppy. She didn't have a way to go out and get a traveling case to put the puppy in to travel home because she came to the birthday party by bus, so she put the puppy in her pocket, and of course the driver saw the puppy and said, "You cannot transport a dog that way." She shared her story, hoping that maybe the driver would look the other way, but that wasn't what happened. A police officer was called to escort the woman off the bus. And when the police officer heard her story of how she got this puppy given unexpectedly to her and she had to go home with it in her purse, he volunteered to drive her home. He was a deputy sheriff. So he put her in his squad car, drove her to the end of his county, and as he was driving, he arranged for another deputy sheriff in the next county to come and meet him, who volunteered to transport her. And so 5 deputy sheriffs from 5 different counties volunteered to transport this woman and her puppy home. Did they make a difference? Yes. Did they give back to life? Yes. Did they honor one of the reasons why God created them? Yes. Recently, one of our police officers here in Delaware was in a home, a home of a single mother. He noticed she had hardly any food in the house. So after working his 12-hour shift, by the way, all our officers work 12-hour shifts. After working his 12-hour shift, this officer, instead of going home, went to Walmart. Did some grocery shopping. Later, he drove back with 4 bags of groceries and gave them to this young mom. He volunteered his time, his finances. Did he make a difference? You bet he did. We are called to give back to life. We can do this vocationally if we're working. We can do this through our church by utilizing our spiritual gifts. We can do this by volunteering to do good works in our community or in our neighborhood. We were created by God to please God. We were created to give back to life. Next Sunday, I'll be at a family reunion, so I won't be preaching next Sunday because I'll be at that family reunion. But the following Sunday, I'll be back and we'll look at another reason why you are here. I hope you'll be present on that particular Sunday, as well as the next Sunday when I'm going. Let's bow for a word of prayer. God, we often wonder why you created us. But the hope is as we work our way through this sermon series, that we'll come away at the end of this sermon series with a number of clear reasons why you made us, and what you expect of us as your children. Help us to realize that ultimately, Lord, as we embrace these reasons for our existence and live them out, help us to realize that we also prepare ourselves then to enter your kingdom in the life to come. This is our prayer. We ask it in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Roy, close our